The death of Mohbad in September 2023 and all the events that have happened since then has been controversial, sensitive, and dramatic, to say the least. But the most surprising turn of events concerning this story is the growing hatred towards the late singer's young wife, Wunmi Aloba. When you scroll through the internet and come across any content related to the Mohbad case, for some reason which I'll explain in this particular video, she has been elevated to the position of one of the most hated young ladies among many Nigerians in decades. When I say Nigerians, I mean a large vocal amount of them, from young to old, men and women. In fact, it seems so many women seem to really despise her. She has been accused of conniving to kill Mohbad, sleeping with members of the Malian Records while being married to the late singer, having a relationship with Sam Larry and having a child for him, the same child that Mohbad was thinking was his own child. She has also been accused of charming, controlling and manipulating the late singer, which ultimately drove him to depression. Finally, she has been accused of keeping Mohbad's property from Mohbad's father, among so many horrible and vile things. It is as if people see her as a leper that must be humiliated, destroyed, or at least gotten rid of. But how did we go from justice for Mohbad and his family to this stage? How did the anger towards Naira Marley and Sam Larry turn towards Wunmi? What happened that turned this topic into one of the most controversial and sensitive stories that seems to bring out the worst in so many people? And what turned the table that cast a spotlight on this young lady caught in such an unfortunate state? Mr. Joseph Aloba, Mohbad's father, revealed in an interview that Mohbad and his wife Wunmi met at Naira Marley's Malian Records music label. They had both known each other since childhood in Oke-Iletu, Ikorodu, Lagos, but reconnected in the music label. In one of the many interviews Mohbad's father granted a few weeks after Mohbad's death, he gave the impression that Wunmi and Mohbad did not really marry, but were just dating. A few days later, a video and some pictures that seemed to show Wunmi sitting on the laps of both Mr. Aloba and his estranged wife surfaced on the internet. The images and video proved that Wunmi and Mohbad were indeed married and were accepted and acknowledged by Mohbad's father and mother, which is totally different from what he had insinuated a few days before. However, the date of the marriage is not publicly known as of this time of recording. On the 12th of September 2023, news broke that former Malian signee Mohbad had passed on. The news threw his family, friends and a lot of people in the general public into a state of mourning and confusion. A few days later, videos started coming out that showed that he had been repeatedly bullied by Naira Marley, Sam Larry and members of the Malian Records and had cried for help so many times before. The viral videos about bullying incited mass anger and people online and offline started demanding justice for Mohbad. With the police yet to release the results of the autopsy and conclude on their investigations, many people, through their curiosity, came up with their own theories on what may have happened on the day that Mohbad died. The rumors and conspiracy theories started flying out to the public in as early as a few days after the late singer's passing. Some of the theories that started to fly out include the idea that Naira Marley had something to do with the death, as well as the theory that he was secretly poisoned by Naira Marley, his close friends and his wife. Another conspiracy theory involved the fact that he may have been buried alive, which is why his neck was bent in the coffin, among so many other crazy stories. At the start of public interest in the case, anger and possibly hatred were directed towards Naira Marley for using his boys to beat and humiliate the former signee, Sam Larry for being caught on video bullying Mohbad, Mohbad's father for many of his initial actions after his son's passing, Mohbad's mother for leaving him when he was a child, and Zinoleski for a few actions that made him look like a snitch. But by the 3rd to 4th week after public interest started, attention started to shift towards Wunmi. At this point, she still had a lot of support from the public who saw her as a grieving widow with a young child. But a few people started opposing the idea that she should be given money and gifts from well-wishers for reasons along the lines of the fact that she will still marry later in life, infidelity, among other vague reasons. Slowly but surely, dislike and hate towards her started to spread until it became almost fashionable to hate on her, which is the present state we are in right now. But I believe the change from mass support to mass hate towards Wunmi started and increased with the introduction and influence of a few key individuals. The people include: number 1, Mohbad's father, Mr. Aloba; number 2, Kemi Olunoyo; number 3, Very Dark Man; and number 4, Mohbad's friend that appeared on a video with Very Dark Man. The introduction of each character served like the hit of a hammer that buried her in a lot of hate. Even though Mohbad's father is named as number 1 on the list and may have been one of the most influential and earliest, I will be talking about him last. So, I will be starting with Kemi Olunoyo. The so-called investigative journalist released a video on the 25th of September 2023, exactly 13 days from Mohbad's death, claiming that she had credible information that Wunmi had a relationship with Sam Larry, which led to the death of Liam, who Mohbad thought was his son. The video went on for 9 minutes and 3 seconds, where she kept reminding the viewers that she is a journalist. If you don't know who she is, well, I can't help you in this video. You would have to go and Google her by yourself. All I can say is that she's a very divisive and antagonistic person who has been blocked and banned on several platforms across social media for spreading conspiracy theories and divisive rhetorics. Most people don't take her seriously, but it seems that she has a good number of people who listen and give her attention. The video about Wunmi and Sam Larry has 28,642 views as of the time of me making this video, which shows that a good number of people listening to her and may have been influenced by her opinions. On the 26th of September, one day after releasing the first video, she released another video claiming that Wunmi Aloba, person of interest in the injection of Mohbad by Perez Medical, where they claim that the late singer was injected at home. The video was directed towards Wunmi, where she talked about the paternity test of Liam, insinuating that the child did not belong to Mohbad. She also addressed Wunmi's mother, asking how she knew a person called Sanusi, whom she claimed was Sam Larry's boy. The video has 35,581 views as of the time of me making this video. Her claims in the two videos may have found a way to lay the foundation of distrust and suspicion in so many people who will now go on to add what they had just heard. Based on her false confidence, elderly image, American accent, and a few other things, a lot of people were gullible enough to fall for her conspiracy theories without waiting for the facts to come out. The next person on the list is Very Dark Man. Before the death of Mohbad, Very Dark Man of VDM was already on the rise in popularity across social media for his activism and public feud with Jenny's Glow and a few other skincare producers and influencers. But it was his controversial opinion about doing a DNA test for Mohbad's son Liam that shot him to social media fame, for better or worse. On the 19th of September 2023, VDM posted a video on Instagram and YouTube where he discouraged the idea of setting up a GoFundMe and giving donations to Mohbad's wife and son.
Secondly, I like the fact that they are bringing out Mohbad body for autopsy. While they are doing that, I beg, may they do DNA tests for that pikin. More they sure say true now Mohbad get on, because all those things that don't get the rights. If she writes on her page, oh, they make me a widow at this one, that, all those ones now. If you watch crime movie, you go understand say everybody if they involved, you can suspect everybody in total, guy. Everybody will be suspected. Because again, another reason why I'm talking like this, according to what I'm hearing, that Mohbad put a lot of things in that girl's name. I'm not saying anything yet, but I am thinking it, and everything is possible. Do you understand? If you do a serious DNA test, it's a 90% chance that child is his, and a 10% chance that it's not his child. Even like that, they should do a DNA test.
This was the first video that introduced his controversial opinion of doing a DNA test to ascertain whether the child belonged to Mohbad. This opinion went viral and gained a lot of backlash and support from people on social media and in the public. From there, he doubled down and continued to push his controversial opinions in more videos and more interviews. These actions made him more popular and controversial, but with his growing popularity and influence, a lot of his supporters ran with the DNA narrative until it became the dominant opinion it has now become. In my own opinion, VDM is partially responsible for directing hatred towards Wunmi and misdirecting the public attention in the Mohbad case with his conspiracy theories. His impact on the case was very divisive because of the sensitivity of that time. Next on the list is this person VDM interviewed in a video that he posted on his YouTube and Instagram channels on the 24th of October 2023. In the video, the person who claimed to be a friend of Mohbad accused Wunmi of sleeping with Mohbad's manager, who he said was a lesbian.
Who be SI? The manager.
Mohbad manager.
Yes, that one are lesbian. That one they do lesbian, but it be like say as they tell me, as the person tell me, person wey dey with them, he say that one and SI they get affairs together, but he does not know.
Mohbad wife.
Yeah.
And Mohbad manager.
Yes, SI.
They knack.
That one now woman in the knack well well.
He also said that Mohbad told him that he believed his wife was having an affair with somebody else in the Malian record label.
Mohbad told me one day, that night of that NDLA, which I took him to my house, he told me that he wants to tell me stuff. And I was like, okay, bro, what was that? He made mention of his wife having affairs with someone inside the Malian house. I don't want to mention it. But I was like...
Wait. Mohbad tell you saying wife dey get affair with somebody from Malian
I swear to God.
The person, na man no wanna see this manager.
Na man, no be even this manager.
Inside the Malian house.
If the girl can actually sit down and look to my face and say all these things I'm saying is a lie, then I drop off every allegation against her. I swear.
The person in the video also said that Mohbad complained about his wife giving him a ring that made him feel uncomfortable. The video was split into 3 parts and was very influential in driving home the rumors of Wunmi's infidelity because of who was talking about. This is somebody that claimed to be Mohbad's friend, so that's why a lot of people were able to believe it. Even if the allegations were true, his behavior of granting an interview and saying such things did not reflect true relationship between the young man and Mohbad. When asked about his status of his relationship with Mohbad before his untimely death, the guest said that they had not been in contact for a while because Wunmi had caused a rift between them. This seems to explain his eagerness to smear her reputation and destroy her name. VDM will also have to take credit for putting together this interview and captioning it the way he did on YouTube. And finally, we have Mohbad's father, Mr. Joseph Aloba. Without a doubt, Mr. Aloba's anger, resentment, and hatred towards his daughter-in-law and her family has been well documented and influential. From his numerous interviews that he granted as early as a few days after Mohbad's passing, to his recent threat to life allegations he gave in a recent Max FM radio interview. Mr. Aloba has been on a relentless smear campaign to make sure that everyone knows how much he resents his daughter-in-law. From early in the case, he accused her and her family of trying to keep Mohbad's property from him. He accused her of making Mohbad's life miserable when he was still alive. When VDM and his controversial opinions about DNA testing went viral, he was quick to jump on it and inflame the opinion with his support. I know everyone grieves in their own way, but the way Baba Mohbad handled the son's passing was very problematic. As an elderly person who wanted justice for his son, he should have told the public to respect his family's privacy and let the police do their investigation. Instead, he kept talking and pushing a divisive narrative that has now poisoned the heart of Nigerians towards his late son's wife. Such a pity. Wunmi's big mistake. Her first big mistake was marrying into the Aloba family. Her second mistake she made was not addressing the allegations and rumors on time. As I said in my previous video, silence is not always golden. In some cases it is, but in some other cases, silence can become dangerous and destructive. I believe she may have thought that the case would blow over after some time, but she was wrong because Mohbad's father seems to be on a relentless smear campaign to make sure that the hate towards her is kept alive. She should have spoken up and addressed the growing conspiracy theories as they began to spread, but she decided to keep mute. I also believe she has someone or a few people that are advising her to keep quiet so as not to jeopardize the case. But this decision has resulted in a lot of people coming up with all kinds of conspiracy theories about what may have happened and why she has refused to do the DNA test. Even if she decides to talk now, which is already 4 months after Mohbad's death and the initial public outcry, I believe it's already too late, as a lot of people already have their minds made up and will not be willing to change their minds to adopt a different opinions and ideas. Personally, I feel she should still offer a public statement through a renowned media house so that she can clear up as many things as possible. If not, this conspiracy theory will solidify and become a cultural myth that will become hard to change as time goes on. For some reason, this case seems to bring out the worst in many people on social media. People are so quick to throw insult at each other, at their fathers, their mothers, their families. Anyone that doesn't agree on who they support, whether it's Baba Mohbad or Wunmi, is seen as unintelligent or the enemy. I believe that the intensity of interest and the move from support of Wunmi to hatred is as a result of groupthink and the bandwagon effect. because as influential people as well as ordinary people online voice their dislike and hatred towards Wunmi, many other people who were not very informed about what's going on, or those that were on the fence, will start to tilt towards directly hating on the young lady, because the voice of disdain is now louder than the voice of support. The most common and universal emotions directed towards her are anger, hatred, disgust, mistrust, which were all fueled by a series of crazy conspiracy theories pushed by a few key influencers, family members, content creators, and the internet public. In Wunmi's case, she is guilty until proven innocent. Unfortunately, the hate towards the young lady could have been prevented, but her inaction of not speaking on time has been a huge mistake. Everyone who has played a role in directing and spreading hate towards her will get their own karma in their own time. A lot of people treat her as if she's the worst person in the world, like she's some kind of dirty sinner. Remember the story in the Bible about those people who were trying to stone the prostitute to death, and Jesus said, "Let he who is without sin cast the first stone." Well, in this case, people have chosen to cast their own stones on Wunmi without giving her a chance. People forget that she's a single mother and a widow at 24. Well, all I can say is that you can't spread hate and get love in return. You will get what you give. It is only a matter of time before karma pays back. If you agree or disagree with what you heard in this particular video, please comment in the comment section below. And if you like this video, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel for contents related to the psychology of pop culture. My name is Kola, and I'll see you in the next videos. Bye.